Hi everyone, my name is Naskio Agatha Varia and this is Communication Capstone, and we'll be discussing on the personal statement of social responsibilities, especially if you're in a social agent for change. So basically, my paper contains a transcript of a social change on poverty and what I discussed on week 3 on what do the poor need, and try asking them. So a personal statement on poverty and social change that needs to be accommodated to ensure that the information is passed on correctly to the targeted audience, as well as the disseminated message is being communicated and is actually being perceived positively by the people. So the personal statement on social responsibility is to be an agent of social change responsibility by being a leader in the cause of the community and setting an example that can be followed by others in the society, as well as making sure that the set objectives of the change are being implemented through the right channels and the correct information is being disseminated to the targeted audience. So we see that with this personal statement, it's all about being a leader. Being a leader is being able to make changes that the rest of the community can really follow on and it can be set as an example to be followed by the rest of the community. So the vision of the social change is that poverty, here in Africa, one of the most economic issues that we always scream about and we always sing about is poverty, education, and change. Poverty and education mostly. So being an agent of poverty, what we can really do is we always have an assumption, we as people, that the government have to remove the poverty out of us. But it's actually us who have to remove the poverty out of ourselves before we can actually begin saying the government has to help out. And we can see from Sykes says that, Sykes, Malik, and West, 2013, they actually state that all new ideas, either small or big. Let me just read the quotation. So Sykes, Malik, and West 2013 tells us that all new ideas, large or small, meet with some level of resistance, especially if the new idea requires new behavior. So in terms of poverty, we can decide maybe to introduce a project, a water project. Maybe there's a water problem in the community. So by introducing water project and maybe telling people that what we need to do is pay maybe 100 Tanzanian shilling, so that the water generated by the government can be used to build more and more taps to bring water to other communities. This change of actually paying the 100 shillings it's going to be a problem to the society, because it actually requires people to input a bit of money in the government and donors as well. So it actually requires change, which can meet some form of resistance. But we also see that Sykes also said that in order to change minds, we need to focus on enhancing how we communicate. This basically means on the channels that we use to communicate. So right now we live in a digital world that most people have digital access, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and all that. So the project that is being involved, we can actually try and communicate on different social media channels on the change that we wish to do, especially on the poverty that we need to take. So people need to work and not depend on the government. So how do we do this? We put a proper communication channel, and we need to partner with various media houses, sensitize people on the importance of the project on poverty, so that they can at least join. I know nowadays we have women joining in 5 or 10 groups, so that they can at least form a group and contribute every month, and you can actually borrow from the group account, which helps people do business and bring back the money. And it actually brings in discipline, because if you don't pay, there's a fine of it. So that's actually reducing poverty. Instead of women just staying at home, they're actually involved in some form of commitment and business involvement. So positive change, being a social agent of positive change by setting an example as being a leader. So if it means joining a group, we'll join a group. If it means communicating the channels and having a media tour, we'll have to join the media channels. If it means involving the government and bringing in donors, then we need to make sure that no corruption is involved, that this money actually meets the targeted audience and does not end up in the pocket of other people. Thank you.